Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica, and today I have my update for Clue Special Painting Edition. This is round 3, but it is my first round doing this. It is, of course, a Fantastic Ladies collab. It was created by Stephanie, and I'm going to have her listed down below so you can go check her out. If you want to get a better understanding of how this project works, definitely go watch some of her videos because she's the creator. She explains it and articulates it much better than I can, so I definitely recommend going to check her out. There is, of course, going to be a spreadsheet down below of everyone else that has joined in. This game is a little challenging at first until you get the hang of it, and then it's incredibly easy, but it's a lot of fun. So basically, you have suspects, weapons, and rooms, just like the board game Clue, and you want to constantly be working on 3 suspects, 3 weapons, and 3 rooms at all times. And if you have met your goal on whatever product, whatever suspect product, weapon product, and room product, you have to have 1 of each in order to make a guess for that month. So you can make up to 3 guesses every single month. And if you have, say you finished all 3 weapons and all 3 suspects, but only 2 rooms, you would save that extra suspect and weapon and use those to be able to guess the next month. But then you still work on 3 products in those particular categories so that you don't fall behind. I like it. I like this project so much. I really hope it comes back again for another year because I'm enjoying it. I like things that are a little bit different because I'm kind of a little bit different. So yeah, I'm just having a blast with this one. So I'm going to go over all of the things that I have been working on for the last month. I'm always like confused how I want to approach the update. I'm just going to go over everything that I used in the last month, whether I met my goal or not, before I get onto my guesses and then things that I need to roll in. All right, so we're going to start with our suspects. We first start with Miss Scarlet. That calls for something red. I had the ColourPop Super Shock Blush in Drop of a Hat. I rolled an 8 for this. Oh, did I even mention that you have to roll dice in order to figure out how many times you have to use a product? That's how you figure out what your goal is. And of course, my throat's being funky again. So I got 8 on this, and I got all 8 uses. Is actually pretty easy to do. And yeah, it's going to go right back into my drawer. Next is going to be Mrs. White. Obviously, that calls for something white. And I went for this. It is the NYX Glitter Primer. I got, oh, I skipped over one. I got 6 uses. No, I didn't. Sorry, my brain. This is my brain. I was looking at the things I need to roll in. 6 uses. I got all 6 uses, so this one is going to be rolling out. All right, Professor Plum, something purple, of course. And I chose the NYX Concealer in a Jar in Lavender. 2 uses is all I got on this one. Easy to get that one done. All right, so those are my suspects. Moving on to weapons. Let's see, I started with the candlestick, and that is something you put on display. Y'all know I display my nail polishes. So I chose this Wet n Wild nail polish in Formidable, or Formidable, depends on how you want to pronounce it. I got 9 uses on this. I only was able to do 2 uses on it in the past month, and I will continue to work on that one. So that one is staying in. Sadly, it is not rolling out. All right, for lead pipe, that calls for something matte, and I chose the Bare Minerals Mineralist Sunlit Palette, and I chose the shade Sandy, which is this cream-colored shade here. I got 10 uses on this, and I actually was able to get all 10 uses. It was very easy because it's a matte cream. It's one of like the easiest shades to use. Next is going to be the wrench, and that is something that twists up. I brought in the Buxom Powerful Lip Plump Balm in Glowing. Only had 4 uses on this one, and that's what that one looks like. Very easy to get my 4 uses on this, so that one is also rolling out. All right, let's move on to the rooms. I'm actually going to be showing you 4 rooms because I did have a rollover from August, and I think think I had a rollover from August. Yes, I did. So I will get, when I get to the one that's a rollover from August, I will let you know. All right, so first up is the billiard room, and that's something you could keep in your pocket. Of course, lip products are easy. This is the Vaseline Lip Therapy. I was given 6 uses on this. I easily got my 6 uses, so that is rolling out. For a dining room, that is something food related. Of course, that makes sense. And I chose the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar Palette, and I picked the shade Coconut Cream, which is this right here. I did not have this done in time to make my guesses, but I have subsequently gotten my uses, all 3 of them on this one. That was very easy to do. Just sadly, it wasn't in time to use it for a guess. Not that I could have used it for a guess anyway, because I only had 2 weapons. All right, moving on to Lounge, and that is the I Heart Stage eyeshadow base. This was my rollover for August. So I originally had 4 uses on this. Very easy to get. Like I said, I had it in, I used it in July, and it was a rollover because I wasn't able to guess that in August because I had extra stuff. And yeah, so that was my rollover. It is going to be rolling out this time. All right, Study, something marketed with scientific terminology, and I have the Necessaire The Lip Balm in Mint, and it's got like tiny letters, but it does definitely say it does some scientific kind of stuff to your lips. I don't know if it does, but I did actually really like this lip balm. It was brand new when I brought it in. I got 4 uses on it. I was able to easily get those 4 uses, and now I can tell you what I guessed for August, for September. Wow, my brain is fried. All right, so my guesses for September, I only got 2 guesses because, like I said, I only had 2 weapons to choose from. So you have to have all 3 in order to make a guess. So I chose Mrs. White with the lead pipe in the lounge and Professor Plum with the wrench in the study. Stephanie's response, and she was quick. Like, I want to say she responded in like 37 minutes. She must have been online waiting for people to put their guesses in. And I'm so glad because then I was able to film this tonight. So it says, Jessica, it could not have been the lead pipe or in the study. The lead pipe was incorporated into a device that Mr. Body was using to study laminar flow. Don't really know what that is. The device would be too difficult to disassemble and detach from the workbench to be a viable weapon. Everything else in the room is too delicate for anything violent to have occurred. I love her responses and explanations of why it couldn't be a certain thing. Absolutely love it. She is so clever. I wish I had a brain like that. All right, let's get back to my spreadsheet. So now we know that it could not have been the lead pipe. So I can eliminate that one altogether, which makes me very happy because that is 1 less weapon, and it makes things really, really easy because I only have 3 weapons available now, and that means every single month now, did you hear Greta? Every single month now until I, finish this thing, I'm going to be working on the same weapon, so that's great. I'm happy about that. All right. Did not get to narrow down my suspects, but I did narrow down my rooms. So we know it's not the study. So, yeah, that one is a no-go. So let me mark that off, and I am going to get all of my stuff together. I will be back in just a second. All right, I think I have everything figured out now. You just never know with me. All right, so I have this ColourPop Super Shock Blush in Drop of a Hat. That is going to be a rollover, so I will be able to use this as a guess for next month. So I'm going to put that in my It's Done bin, but I still need to update with it. Let's see, I have the billiard room is also going to be a rollover, and I have the Vaseline Lip Therapy. Also going to go into the It's Done bin. And then the next rollover is going to be the Dining Room, something food related. And that is going to be the Coconut Cream eyeshadow. So that is going to go in my It's Done bin. All right, so I'm going to leave those for my rollover. So you will see those again in the next update, but I will not be working on those. I just have those available as guesses for next month. All right. Let's get into what we are going to be using for this month. So for Miss Scarlet, that is something red, I have the Avon Line and Color Lip Pencil in Alarm Red. I'm going to unlock my little phone here. I've got the randomizer for the dice, and this is on calculator.net, so if you guys are looking for one, I need to roll to see what I get. And 2. I got a 2. That's not much. I will have that done in no time. Put that off to the side. For Colonel Mustard, something yellow, I have this shampoo. This has been in here before. I did not have it in last time. I just kind of mixed it up a little bit. So this is the Tweaked by Nature Honey Lux Detox Honey Mud Shampoo. And I need to figure out how many times I need to use it. 5. It's not so bad. 5 could be done relatively easy. All right, for Mrs. White, something white, I have the Nakery Beauty Skin Firm Serum Body Treatment. And let's see how many times we need to use that. Oof, 10. I still think I can make it happen. All right, so those are out of the way. Let me put those off to the side so I don't get all discombobulated, because you know I can easily get discombobulated. All right, we are going to be going the candlestick. We already have this nail polish in. For the revolver, that is the whole collection roulette, I'm going to insert my screen recording here. As you can see, I got the Nina nail polish in. Anaconda liked it. I think that's a clever name. However, already working on this one. I'm already panning it, not to completion, but for usage. So I'm not going to use this because that's going to put me even further behind. And I don't like to use the same product in multiple panning projects. So I put in or I did another screen grab of me continuing to roll. And for that, I got the Too Faced Love Palette in the shade Darling, which is this green shade right here. It is super pretty. Didn't get a very good swatch there. That's what it looks like. It is not a very highly pigmented shade, but that's okay because I have a lot of other things I'm working on. I don't need something that's going to like take over a look. So let me unlock my phone again and figure out how many times I need to use that. 7. Okay, I can do 7. I have a feeling it's going to get used on like lower lash line, maybe even inner corner, though it might be a little dark. But if I do it in conjunction with something else, I might be able to make it work. We'll figure it out. All right, next is going to be Wrench, and that is something that twists up and down. I'm going for the Buxom Powerful Plump Lip Balm in Dolly Fever. And as you can see, it definitely twists up and down. And let me get the cap on it before I destroy it. And let's roll to see how many times I need to use that. Only 5. All the easy ones, I get really tiny numbers. And the harder ones, I get big numbers. It's okay. We're still doing this thing. All right, let's move on to our rooms. And I am going to be rolling 3 into that one as well. Even though I have 2 rollovers, I always want to be working on 3 products at a time because you never know when you're going to get a hard product or a large number, and you're not going to be able to meet your goal. So for billiard room, that's something you could keep in your pocket. This one was in last time, but it was not in this category, or room, I should say. This is the Buxom Powerful Lip Plump Balm in Glowing. That's what that one looks like. Let's figure out how many times I need to use that. 6. Easy enough. Yeah, I feel like since I kind of made fun of always getting 6 on the randomizer, I don't really get it as much now. All right, moving on to Conservatory, something that smells nice. It smells like mint, so of course it's nice. This is the Necessaire the lip balm in mint, and let's figure out that number. 7. Gotten a lot of 7s today. I feel like the powers that be are listening, and they know that. All right, and Lounge, something you sit down to use. This has been in quite a lot. This is the Essence I Heart Stage eyeshadow base. Very easy to use, and I do my makeup sitting down, so I mean it makes sense. So let's see how many times. And that number is 7. See, it knows. That is everything that I'm working on. I don't feel like I got any really hard numbers. The biggest number that I got was 10, and that is for the body treatment spray, and I still think I can get 10 uses by the next update. The only thing, honestly, that I'm concerned about is getting 7 more uses on the nail polish. And how many did I have on this? 7. If I can use it in creative ways, I might be able to get it done, but that is also in my rooms, which I have 2 rollovers. So even if I wasn't able to get that one rolled out by the next update, I still have 2 rooms like that I'm holding that are usable. So I'm not really concerned about that. It might just get me, caught up a little bit more. So I'm very excited to see what I can do with this next month, to see how many rollouts I can get. So stay tuned for that. Definitely go check out Stephanie because she's the creator. She's going to be linked down below, and of course the spreadsheet down below as well. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until I see you on my next video, have a beautiful day.